The Larks are off to their best start in over a decade, and tonight they hit the road for their first non-league game of 2026 in a matchup against the Newton Rebels out of the Jayhawk League. As we welcome you into the pregame show, my name is Hank Corsair, and the Larks come into tonight's game with a 6-0 record, fresh off of a season sweep in the fourth game against the Colorado Lumberjacks. As we take a look back at that one from last night, it was the third run rule win in 6 games for the Larks, but it did not come easy early on as the Lumberjacks jumped out to a 3-0 lead, and they would hold that until the fourth inning when the Larks really opened things up. They hit a 3-run homer of their own from Brand Wilson and led from that point on. It was a total of 6 unearned runs that allowed them to keep that lead. The Lumberjacks scored one more time, and then in the 8th inning, the Larks hit a 2-run home run from Tanner Norman to seal the deal and get their 6th win of the year. And a lot of notable performances in that game. The Larks had 4 home runs between 3 different players. It was Brand Wilson, Rainer Bean, and Sean Keenan. And then the pitching held their own as well. Trent Baker got his 2nd start of the year, pitching 5 innings and getting 7 strikeouts. Carson Lyles came in relief for him and got 2 of his own. And then Max Hendricks added 4 as well, giving the Larks a total of 32 strikeouts in that 2-game series. And then previewing tonight's game, it's against the Newton Rebels here at Klein Scott Field. The Rebels come into tonight's game with a 3-6 record. They started off 2-0, but have only won 1 of their last 7 games. So it's another team for the Larks that's trying to find their footing here early on in the season. They are trying to rebound from a 10-26 record a year ago, and they were able to get some rest in after last night. They were supposed to play the Great Bend Batcats, but due to rain, that one has been postponed for a doubleheader tomorrow, and it should be an interesting matchup. This is the first of 9 non-league games for the Larks this season. And first pitch is 11 minutes away. We will have that for you when we come back. Pre-game festivities have concluded, and we are set to go for the Larks' first non-league game of 2026. Trent Baker will lead things off here in the first inning. The pitcher he's facing tonight for the Newton Rebels is number 26, Gary Brock, the senior right-hander from Kansas Wesleyan. Originally from Wichita, Kansas, will make his second start of the year. In 4 games, he's pitched 5 1/3 innings, recorded 5 strikeouts, and his opponents have a .333 batting average. So Baker leads things off after being the starter in last night's game. He is in the DH spot tonight. Standing in the right-handed box, he awaits the first pitch. Brock will deliver it, and that one will be left upstairs for ball 1. First pitch tonight comes at 6:07 p.m., an hour earlier than the usual time, but since it's a Sunday game, that's usually what time the Larks will play. 77 degrees and 10-mile-per-hour winds coming out of the north. It is perfect weather here tonight at Klein Scott Field. Baker now works to a 1-1 count after fouling that one off. Here's the rest of the Larks order. It'll be Trent Baker, followed by Cooper Holtorf, then Rainer Bean. Sean Keenan is batting in the cleanup spot. The 5th batter is number 26, Dylan LaRue. Tabor Stokes bats 6th. And rounding out the rest of the order is Austin Crawford, Braden Cox, and Dylan Hazelhorst. Catcher tonight for the Rebels is number 25, Walker Wakeland. He will center his glove. The pitch goes to the plate, and the curveball catches the outside part of the plate, and Baker's now down 1-2. This is Baker's 3rd game as a batter, and this is his 11th plate appearance. He's recorded 2 hits and 3, as well as 3 runs scored. The pitch goes to the plate, and Baker will leave that one on the inside, moving his shoulder out of the way. Is even back up at 2-2. Here is the outfield for the Newton Rebels. From left to right, it's number 24, Samuel Benz, number 27, Mark Wyman, and in right field is number 28, Caden Ehart. 5th pitch of the at-bat is a swing and a miss, and it's actually a foul ball that went off the end of the bat for Baker. He stays alive, and the count remains at 2-2. The infield will feature Brendan Doyle over at 3rd, and at the other corner is number 45, Taj Smith. The second baseman is number 17, Braden Mead, and the shortstop is number 4, Danny Balderas. And again, Walker Wakeland is the catcher tonight for the Rebels. And the pitch is on the way, and that one is left inside, and Trent Baker now works to a full count. Gary Brock has walked 13 batters so far this season in the 4 games that he's pitched. He is the only senior on this Rebels roster out of Kansas Wesleyan, originally from Wichita, Kansas, and Baker will walk on a 7-pitch at-bat as he heads down over to first base. With Baker on, that brings up Cooper Holtorf. Along with Baker, he is one of 5 new faces in the lineup tonight. The only 4 returners from the 15-4 win last night are Rainer Bean, Sean Keenan, Tabor Stokes, and Austin Crawford. That's what you'll see a lot of the time for non-league games, because Larks are more focused on winning the RMBL games. They'll kind of experiment with these games and figure out what will work best for them as the season goes on. 0-1 the count to Cooper Holtorf. Coming into tonight's game with a 3-game hit streak. He has played in 4 games and recorded 5 hits in 15 at-bats. He will foul this one out of play behind the first base dugout. Count moves to 0-2. As Gary Brock is looking for the first out of the inning. Baker takes a short lead over at first base. Smith will cover the bag. And the pitch goes to the plate, and the changeup is fouled out of play, keeping Holtorf alive with 2 strikes. Gary Brock looking for his 6th strikeout of the season. He will come set, nod his head, and send the ball to the plate. And that one's on the high outside corner for ball 1. Holtorf got down early on an 0-2 count, thanks with 2 foul balls, keeping him alive. And the pitch goes to the plate. This one's going to go past the third baseman on the outside. Doyle couldn't reach it in time, so Baker's over at second base. And both of the Oklahoma City Stars get on the bag to start the inning. So Holtorf extends his hit streak to 4 games now, and that brings up Rainer Bean. Finished with 2 RBIs last night. One of those was a solo home run in the 5th inning, and then he also had a sacrifice fly later on in the game. Overall, he went 1 for 4, and he'll be followed by Sean Keenan afterwards, who was 1 for 2. Gary Brock looks back over at second base. This is his second start of the year. Trent Baker's going to head over to third base, and he will get caught stealing over at third. So that's the first out of the inning. Moving over to second is Cooper Holtorf. The first pitch, I believe, was called ball 1 there to Rainer Bean. But Baker will make his way back to the dugout. Cooper Holtorf now stands at second. This is a Rebels team that you have to be very careful against when you try to steal. Their opponents are only successful 75% of the time, as this one's hit over to the first baseman, Taj Smith, who will tag first for the second out. And Holtorf now with 90 feet away from home plate over at third, but there's now 2 away. So the center fielder, Sean Keenan, comes up to bat, trying to keep the inning alive. Keenan leads the Larks in batting average through these first 6 games. He's played in 5 of them with a .480 average. And we'll see if the RBI leader can bring that run home over at third. Brock delivers the pitch, and that one's low for ball 1. And Sean Keenan has shown that he can drive the ball pretty well. In his 12 hits, 6 of them have been singles. The other 6 have been extra base hits. It's a right-handed pitcher against a left-handed batter. The 1-0 is on the way, and that one will find the zone for strike 1. The Larks have had 2 runners on this inning. Trent Baker walked on a 7-pitch full count. Cooper Holtorf singled immediately after that, and then both of them went on a steal attempt. Trent Baker was caught over at third. Holtorf made it over to second. Now he stands at third. And a swing and a miss there on a 1-1 count to Sean Keenan. He'll have to fight back with 2 strikes. Dylan LaRue will follow after Keenan, then Tabor Stokes, the 6th batter in the order, will be up next. He is in the hole. The pitch is on the way, and this one is fouled off. Keenan stays alive, and he will await the 5th pitch of the at-bat. Brock will stretch his arm out as he looks for the strikeout. He's got 5 in the 4 games that he's played in. Holtorf takes a lead over at first. He's just at third. He's just 90 feet away from home plate. This one's fouled out of play, and it'll go into the Rebels bullpen on the left field side. "19 pitches thrown so far for Gary Brock here in the first inning. Just needing 1 more out to end it. And the pitch is on the way, and that one's out on the outside. Walker Wakeland had to come out of his stance to get it, and Sean Keenan now stands at 2-2. Keenan was 1 for 2 last night. He finished with an RBI single and 2 runs. The pitch is on the way, and this one's going to be a hard hit ball over to the third baseman. He fields it cleanly, throws it down to first base, and that one's in time for the 3rd out. The Larks get a runner all the way over to third base, but he is left stranded, and we'll see how they respond on the defensive side when we come back. The Larks record one hit in the top of the first inning and leave one runner stranded with 4 batters going up to the plate. They will now go to the bottom half of the first inning. Samuel Benz leads things off for the Rebels. The pitcher he's facing today for the Larks is number 16, Ty Schmeidler, the Hayes native, making his second start. Will start the count 0-1 as he gets the fastball in the inside corner. Here's the lineup for the Newton Rebels. After Samuel Benz, it'll be number 28, Caden Ehart. Number 25, Walker Wakeland, bats third. Cleanup batters number 4, Danny Balderas. Swing and a miss moves the count now to 0-2. Mark Wyman bats fifth. The sixth batter is the first baseman, Taj Smith. The DH is batting seventh. That's number 13, Heath Hokeman. And rounding out the rest of the order is number 17, Braden Mead, and number 5, Brendan Doyle. Schmeidler already ahead looking for the strikeout, and he catches him swinging on the outside part of the plate. A 3-strike at bat puts one out on the board. So that brings up number 28, Caden Ehart, the right fielder playing in his 6th game with the Rebels. He's a freshman infielder from Northern Oklahoma, Enid. Played college baseball here in Kansas last year as a redshirt at Tabor. First pitch goes outside for ball 1. Here's the Larks' defensive alignment tonight. In left field is Cooper Holtorf. It's his first appearance in left field, and Sean Keenan is in center field. And in right field is number 9, Braden Cox. Count now 1-1 as Ehart swings and misses at that one. We'll get the infield look in just a second as Schmeidler gets set. He will send the pitch to the plate, and it's a swing and a miss on the inside part. He gets ahead 1-2 after starting the count with a ball. The infield will feature Austin Crawford at third. At first is number 26, Dylan LaRue. The shortstop's Tabor Stokes, and the second baseman is Rainer Bean. Dylan Hazelhorse is behind the plate as the ball will be sent to him. This one's going to be a fly ball into left field. Running after it is Holtorf, and he makes a diving catch on the run for the second out. Gliding towards center field, he makes the grab, and there's now 2 away.
Up next for the Rebels, catcher number 25, Walker Wakeland.
So Walker Wakeland will now come up to bat. On Game Changer, he's listed as number 7 or number 10. Tonight he's wearing number 25. Another player for this Rebels team from Northern Oklahoma, Enid. Comes in with a team-high 8 RBIs. The curveball will find the zone and start the count off 0-1. Wakeland played in 36 games this last season with the Jets, recording 32 hits and 27 runs. That one misses the zone, and it evens the count up with 1 ball and 1 strike. Schmeidler looking for a 3-up, 3-down inning in his second start with the Larks. This one's going to be popped up. LaRue will run after it in foul territory on the first base side, but this one will go out of play, landing in the Larks bullpen.
Again, kids, if you want any candy, grab that foul ball and take it to the Mobile Moxie concession.
Now 1-2. Schmeidler already has 1 strikeout. He got three strikes in a row on Samuel Benz, the leadoff batter. Came into today's game with 3 innings pitched and 2 strikeouts. He kicks and deals, and it's a half-hearted swing. We'll see if he went around. He did not. He held back just enough to keep the count at 2-2. As Wakeland looks to record his 10th hit of the year. Schmeidler delivers the pitch. He goes to the curveball. This one's popped up. Running after it is the right fielder Cox. And making the catch in the end is Rainer Bean. He came all the way from second base to get it, and that will bring it into the bottom of the first inning. As it's 3 up, 3 down, we'll have the top of the second up next. It'll be Dylan LaRue that leads things off. No score after one here in Newton, Kansas, as the Larks will send Dylan LaRue up to the plate to start the top of the second inning. Gary Brock, the senior from Wichita, Kansas, returns to the mound. Gave up one hit and left only one Lark on base in the first inning to keep this game at 0-0. And LaRue tonight, one of 5 new faces in the lineup. Brock takes a deep breath and then exhales. The pitch goes to the plate, and the fastball finds the zone for the first strike. LaRue will be followed by Tabor Stokes and then Austin Crawford. The Larks will still have 2 batters to send up if they get to that point. After Crawford, it's Braden Cox and Dylan Hazelhorst. Next pitch is left outside, moving the count to 1-1. Gary Brock gets set. The pitch is on the way, and he goes to the changeup, and that one's left up high. LaRue ties the count up 2-1. This is LaRue's second game as a Lark, as he is joining a little bit later this year. Just wrapped up his senior season at Cumberland. This one's fouled off. Went right past Frank Leo, and the count is now 2-2. This season for LaRue, he played in 51 games with Cumberland, recording a .345 average off of 70 hits, earning him his second first-team Mid-South Conference selection. Another one fouled off in the exact same spot. LaRue stays alive at 2-2. The thing that makes LaRue so successful at the NAIA level is that he has some D1 experience along with that. Played his first 2 seasons of college baseball at Houston Christian in the Southland Conference. He'll foul this one back, hitting the top of the fence. And he will now await the 7th pitch of the at-bat. Again, Tabor Stokes is on deck. Austin Crawford's in the hole for the Larks. This one's popped up, and this one's going to go out of play. The third baseman for the Rebels, that is Doyle, started to run after it. 3 straight foul balls after 2 strikes for Dylan LaRue.
Candy is waiting for you at the concession stand.
Brock looking for his first strikeout of the game. He delivers the pitch, and this one's going to tightrope down the first base line and then roll foul at the last second. That's now 8 pitches thrown by Gary Brock here to Dylan LaRue. Threw a total of 21 in the 4 batters that he faced in the first inning. And I think that Dylan LaRue actually broke his bat there. He handed it over to Tabor Stokes and got a new one, and I'm getting confirmation that he did. So this is pitch number 9 from Brock to LaRue. Here it comes, and it is down low in the dirt for ball 3. Full count. The second one of the game for Gary Brock against the Larks. The first one was the leadoff batter, Trent Baker. That was a pretty long at-bat or plate appearance as well. That was 7 pitches thrown. This one right here is number 10, and that one's left on the low inside corner, and LaRue is going to head down over to first base.
The shortstop, number 6, Tabor Stokes.
Next batter up for the Larks, Tabor Stokes, was 1 for 4 last night with a single. He concludes the middle third of the order. After that, it's the final 3 batters in the Larks order before they go back to the top of the lineup. That is Austin Crawford, Braden Cox, and Dylan Hazelhorst. Stokes will foul off the first pitch and start with an 0-1 count. This is Stokes' 3rd game back with the Larks in his 3rd season. Just wrapped up his junior year over at Ball State after playing for the Hutchinson Blue Dragons when he joined the Larks last year. Fouls off the next pitch, and now it's 0-2. Stokes played in 35 games with the Cardinals this season. Committed to them after a scout came to a Larks game last summer, but now is currently in the transfer portal. He entered 11 days ago. Now works with an 0-2 count against Gary Brock, and the pitch is on the way, and that one's going to take a bounce in the dirt. Fielding it is the catcher, Walker Wakeland. And that's the first ball. The runner at first is Dylan LaRue, who walked on a 10-pitch full count. Brock gets his pitch. He delivers. And that one's going to roll away from the catcher, but LaRue's going to stay put over at first. Stokes was down 0-2. Now it's 2-2. LaRue takes a short lead. And the pitch is on the way, and that one's going to be left down in the dirt. Stokes has been able to fight back to a full count. Second in a row, third of the day for Gary Brock. And the payoff pitch is on the way, and that one's a swing and a miss, and Tabor Stokes will head to the dugout as that's the first out of the inning. Sixth strikeout of the season for the Kansas Wesleyan Coyote, and that brings up Austin Crawford, the seventh batter in the order tonight. One of four returners, along with Tabor Stokes, Sean Keenan, and Rainer Bean. Crawford was 1 for 4 last night. That one hit was an RBI single. He will be followed by two new faces, as mentioned, Cox and Hazelhorst. And the pitch is on the way. He swings and misses at the curveball on the inside part of the plate. Count starts off 0-1. LaRue taking a short lead over there at first base. This is LaRue's first time on the base path. This one bounces in front of the plate. Count moves now to 1-1. We'll see if LaRue decides to take off. Looking back at his first season with the Larks last year, he only had one stolen base. And last season he had a .399 on-base percentage. Brock got set to deliver the pitch and then tosses it back over to his first baseman, Taj Smith. And now Crawford is set to receive the next one. This one's on the way, and it's left on the inside part of the plate. Tied count at 2-1. See where Brock goes from here after those first two full counts to start the inning. He walked Dylan LaRue, who's at first. Tabor Stokes struck out swinging. And the pitch to untie the count is going to find the low part of the zone for the second strike. Crawford in search of his fifth hit of the year. And the ball's on the way, and this one's going to be fouled off the foot of Crawford. Stays alive with that 2-2 count. Since he played in last night's game, it was his first appearance since the Colorado trip. This is game number 6 for him. And Brock delivers the 2-2, and that one's going to be a slider that will be left down low. That's 3 full counts to start the inning now. We'll see how he approaches this one. He's given up a walk and a strikeout. Brock looks back over at first base where LaRue takes a lead. Only one steal in his Larks career, and he will head over to second base. It's a swing and a miss and a throw down to a second, and that one is in time. And the Rebels turn a double play to retire the side in the top of the second inning. We'll see what the Larks can do with Ty Schmeither returning to the mound. They went 3 up, 3 down in the bottom of the first. That's up next. Hayes native and future Kentucky Wildcat Ty Schmeidler is back to the mound for the bottom of the second inning, facing the middle part of the Rebels order. It is Danny Balderas leading things off, followed by Mark Wyman and Taj Smith. Balderas is a sophomore infielder from Indian Hills Community College. First pitch is on the way, and it takes a bounce in the dirt. He starts with a 1-0 count. Balderas looking to pick up right where he left off. He had a 4-hit game on 2 nights ago against Derby. Steps back into the box, awaiting the next pitch from Schmeidler. That one's left outside for ball 2. Balderas has made 18 at-bats and recorded 6 hits off of them. Overall, he's got 5 runs and has also gotten 1 stolen base. And now he's up 3-0. Rebels looking for a big win against the Larks. This is a home-and-home series this year. The Larks will face them again on June 19th as part of First Responders Night at Larks Park. That one will be called strike 1 there from Schmeidler to Hazelhorse. And Hazelhorse will have to come out of his stance for the next pitch. That's going to send Balderas down over to first base. A leadoff walk for the Rebels will bring up number 27, Mark Wyman.
Up next for your Rebels, the center
Team leader in batting average at .346, a freshman from Iowa Western Community College. Stepping into the right-handed box. Shakes the bat above his right shoulder, and the pitch is outside, and he's going to start ahead 1-0. Big lead over at first base there for Balderas. The next pitch is left inside. That one almost hit the foot of Wyman, but either way, the count moves to 2-0. As mentioned, Balderas only has 1 steal for the Rebels in the early part of this season. We'll see if he decides to take off. Dylan LaRue is covering the bag over at first. Next pitch goes to the plate, and it just missed on the high inside corner. That's 3 balls now to the center fielder. Taj Smith, the first baseman, is on deck. Heath Hokeman, the DH, is in the hole. And this one is right down Broadway as Schmeidler fights back. The count moves to 3-1. Wyman's recorded 9 hits here in this season. Trying to get some experience after redshirting at Iowa Western. Fouls this one back. And Schmeidler is back up to a full count. Schmeidler had 1 strikeout in the first inning. That was the leadoff batter, Samuel Benz. Payoff pitch is on the way. This one is lined foul right over the third base dugout where the Rebels are at. And Wyman will now await the 7th pitch of this at-bat. We'll see if the runner at first goes. That's Danny Balderas. Schmeidler takes 2 looks at him and delivers. And that one's going to be left outside, and it's back-to-back walks for the Rebels as they put a runner in scoring position. Next batter up is number 45, Taj Smith, a college teammate of Larks catcher Brand Wilson at Redlands Community College. As we get a meeting now here between Hazelhorse and Schmeidler. Just going to talk things over, make sure they're on the same page as they search for the 3 outs. Taj Smith has played in 5 games with the Rebels. Got a 458 on base percentage with 4 hits and 7 walks. 4 of those walks came on June 9th against the Hayesville Aviators. Schmeidler working with 2 runners on and no outs. The pitch is on the way, and this one's going to be chopped and will go foul right past the third baseman, Crawford. That one was just an inch away from being fair, but it starts to count off with 1 strike. As mentioned, Taj Smith is a freshman from Redlands, originally from Newcastle, Oklahoma. Played in 42 games this year, recording 15 RBIs and 17 runs. Looking to get his third and maybe even fourth RBI of the year with the Rebels. Schmeidler's pitch goes to the plate, and that one just missed the zone for ball one. The DH is on deck for the Rebels. That is number 13, Heath Hokeman. Rebels looking for their first home win of the year. They are currently 0-4 here at Klein Scott Field. They're 3-6 overall. This one's going to be hit over to Crawford. He will throw it to second, as that is one, and it's a fielder's choice as Taj Smith is over at first.
The designated hitter for the Rebels.
With one out and runners at the corners, it brings up Heath Hokeman, number 13. Recent graduate of Abilene High School here in Kansas. This is his second game since joining the Rebels. His first one was 3 nights ago against the Derby Twins. The two runners are taking a lead. Over at third is Danny Balderas. At first is Taj Smith. And the count begins 1-0. This starts the bottom third of the Rebels order with Braden Mead on deck and Brendan Doyle in the hole. Schmeiler will now work with a 2-0 count. As Hokeman just graduated from Abilene, he'll play at Northern Oklahoma Tonkawa next season at the JUCO level. Another pitch left inside for ball 3, and a chance to load the bases up. Schmeidler comes set, and he sends the ball to the plate, and this one is left outside. Hazelhorse had to come out of his stance to get it, and the bases are now loaded. The Larks will not take a meeting here before the at-bat. They will rely on Schmeidler to get those 2 outs and leave all 3 runners stranded. It's Braden Mead is up to bat. Freshman from Three Rivers College will await the pitch, and it's on the way, and it's going to get in there for strike 1. Mead, the Missouri native, played in 15 games at Three Rivers this season. Got 5 hits and accounted for 10 of their runs. And the curveball is hit into center field. It's going to go to Sean Keenan. He makes the catch, and he will throw it in, but the runner at third is going to tag up, and the Rebels have the first run of tonight's game.
That Newton Fighter is safe at home, sponsored by Union State Bank, where your savings account is always safe with Union State Bank.
After the sac fly, it brings up number 5, Brendan Doyle. He's the final batter in the Rebels order, playing at the third base spot tonight. Schmeiler looks back at the lead runner at second, delivers the pitch, starts the count off with 1 ball. Doyle, a freshman from McPherson, Kansas, played at Western Nebraska Community College this season. Comes into tonight's game on a 3-game hit streak, looking to extend that. Schmeiler looks back at second. The pitch on the way. This one's a fly ball into right field. Cox is going to run after this one, approaching the foul line, and he's got the grab for out number 3. The Rebels add a run after a sacrifice fly from Braden Mead, and the Larks are set to respond in the top of the third. Braden Cox will lead things off, followed by Dylan Hazelhorst and Trent Baker. The Rebels pick up 1 run in the top of the 3rd inning after 3 walks. And now Braden Cox will step up to lead things off for the Larks here in the top of the 3rd. They're still facing the starter, Gary Brock. His 3 innings would be the longest that he's gone for this season. He begins with 1 strike. He'll be followed by Hazelhorst and Baker. Cox is playing in right field tonight, awaiting the next pitch. It goes to the plate, and it's a slider that misses for ball 1. This is Cox's 3rd game in the Larks batting order. He's also been a courtesy runner this season and has the most pitching appearances with 3. He's now down 1-2, swinging and missing at that one. Gary Brock will be looking for his 3rd strikeout of the night right here. He struck out the last 2 batters in the top of the 2nd inning. And the pitch is on the way, and the curveball just missed the zone. It is an even count with 2 balls and 2 strikes. So far in this game, the Larks have 1 hit and have left 1 runner stranded. That was in the 1st inning with Cooper Holtorf, who got the single and then made it all the way to 3rd. As the Larks play from behind for the 2nd game in a row, the count now 3-2. As Cox leaves that one all the way out to the right side. Cox has been walked 3 times this year and also is in search of his 1st hit. And the payoff pitch is going to be fouled back, hitting the chain link barrier. He will now await pitch number 7 of this current at-bat. Wakeland centers his glove. The pitch is on the way. This one's popped up, and this one is going to go over the Larks dugout on the first base side. Cox able to stay alive on the full count. All 3 batters that Gary Brock faced in the 2nd inning were dealt full counts, so this is the 4th batter in a row for the Larks. He walked Dylan LaRue and then followed that with 2 swinging strikeouts against Stokes and Crawford. And here's the pitch. This one's fouled back. 3 straight foul balls now for Braden Cox after the 2 strikes. As the freshman from Spring, Texas looks for his 1st hit of 2026. This is his 3rd game with the Larks. He's made 3 at-bats in 5 plate appearances. Brock will deliver that one. He goes to the changeup. It's left upstairs, and Braden Cox is the 3rd Lark to walk tonight.
Up next for the Larks, the catcher, number 29.
That brings up number 29, Dylan Hazelhorst, the catcher and final batter in the order. Replacing Brand Wilson from last night's game. The only Lark to have 2 home runs out of the 4 that were recorded. He joined that category alongside Rainer Bean and Sean Keenan, giving the Larks a 15-4 win over the Lumberjacks. It was their 3rd run rule win in 6 games. Hazelhorst just finished his sophomore year at Fort Hays State. He was originally supposed to go to Barton, but then transferred after the fall semester of his freshman year. He works with a 1-1 count to start this at-bat. Cox will take a short lead over at first. Covering the bag is Taj Smith. And a throwback now. This one will just be lobbed over. He is back in plenty of time. We'll see if the Larks decide to send the runner. They've attempted 3 steals so far in this game. They've been successful on one of them. And this one's going to get away. It's a wild pitch. The catcher will run after it to track it down. And that will send Braden Cox over to second base. The runner is in scoring position, giving the Larks an opportunity to potentially tie this one up. The Rebels scored their 1 run in the previous inning. That was Danny Balderas that scored, brought home on a sacrifice fly to center field. And the pitch to untie the count is swung on and driven into right field. Running back for this one is Ehart, and he will not get there, but it's in foul territory. And that'll make it 2-2 now to Dylan Hazelhorst. It's a very wide foul territory here at Klein Scott Field here in Newton. Not sure what the exact measurement is of from the foul pole to the end of the fence here on the right field side, but all I'll say is it's a big one. So back to the action. Hazelhorst has dealt with a 2-2 count and a runner over at second. Brock delivers the pitch, and he swings and misses at that one. It is the 3rd strikeout of the game for Gary Brock in his 2nd start of the year.
Back to the top of the batting order for the Larks. It's the designated hitter, number
That'll bring up the DH, Trent Baker, the leadoff batter. Walked on a full count in the first inning. We'll see what he does right here in his return to the batting order. He was the starting pitcher against the Lumberjacks last night with 5 innings of work and 7 strikeouts. Brock watching the runner over at second base with 1 out. Here's the first pitch, and Baker will leave that one on the inside part of the plate for ball 1. The Larks have two college teammates leading off in their batting order tonight. It is Trent Baker and Cooper Holtorf, both of whom just played their first year at Oklahoma City. Trent Baker transferred to the Stars from Lamar, and then Cooper Holtorf played 2 years at the JUCO level for Paradise Valley Community College. This one's left outside, and Baker gets ahead 2-0. Baker's followed by Holtorf and then Rainer Bean and Sean Keenan. Larks are playing from behind for the 2nd game in a row. The Lumberjacks jumped out to a 3-0 lead in the top of the 1st inning yesterday. And then the Larks eventually won by 11. Baker takes a swing and misses at that one. It is a tied count with 2 balls and 1 strike. Gary Brock gets set. He delivers the pitch, and this one's low and inside. It's going to be called a ball, and this one's going to go past the third baseman, and that's going to leave plenty of time for Braden Cox to score, and the Larks are finally on the board. A huge steal there, and the Larks capitalize off the – and actually they're going to send Braden Cox back over to third base, so he's going to be credited with the steal. Not sure what the call was. But Frank Leo is going to come out now and have a talk with the home plate umpire. And I think now they're going to send him back to second, so Braden Cox isn't even going to get credited with the steal. It's a little bit unusual. I think both sides are confused because now Frank Leo's back out with the umpire. They've sent Braden Cox back over to third. And that is where he's going to stay, it looks like. Okay, so in the end, Braden Cox is now back over at second base. He will not get credited with that steal over at third. And again, not sure what the call was. It could have been interference or time might have been called before. And now Baker will step back into the right-handed batter's box. He just asked a question to the home plate umpire. Gary Brock will come set. The count is 2-1, and here's the pitch. And that one is outside. And correction, that was ball 4. Trent Baker is going to head over to first base.
Up next for the Larks, the left fielder, number 1, Cooper Holtworth.
That brings up Cooper Holtorf, who had the single in the first inning. He was dealt with a 1-2 count, got the hit, and then eventually stole second and made it all the way to third. He would be left stranded, though, in the first inning as he works with runners at first and second. This one's left outside for ball 1. With that last hit in the first inning, Holtorf has extended his hit streak to 4 games. He has 6 overall on the year. And looking to add to his RBI total, he has 6 so far in the first 4 games that he's appeared in. And he drills this one into center field. Tracking it down is Wyman, and he will get there to the right center gap, making the catch. Cox is going to head over to third base, sprinting, and he is going to slide in as the third baseman Doyle had to go away from the bag to get it. Both runners advance, and they are both in scoring position. With 2 outs, that brings up number 3, Rainer Bean. He had 1 of 4 home runs last night, giving him 2 RBIs overall. The other one was from a sacrifice fly. Left-handed batter against a right-handed pitcher here for the Larks. And Brock's pitch is going to be swung on, drilled into left field. Benz will run after this one into foul territory, and this one's going to drop for a foul ball, starting the count off 0-1. So Rainer Bean will just walk back over to home plate. He has the tying run just 90 feet away from home plate. It's Braden Cox, who was walked on a 9-pitch full count. Advanced to second on a wild pitch and then stole third, but either time was called or there was interference that sent him back to second. He advanced to third on the sacrifice fly from Cooper Holtorf that went into that right center gap. And the next pitch is right down the middle, and now Rainer Bean is down 0-2. There is 2 outs and runners at second and third. Our scoreboard is a little bit slow right now. Brock is looking for his 4th strikeout of the game. All 3 of them have been swinging. And this one will be fouled back, hitting the left side of the chain link fence. And the count remains 0-2. Bean is ready, so is Brock. He gets set to deliver the pitch, and it's on the way. And this one's a swing and a miss, and that will bring it in to the top of the 3rd inning. Larks get 2 runners on. Both of them were walked. They both reached scoring position, but they are left stranded as we go now to the bottom of the 3rd with the Rebels ahead 1-0. Ty Schmother returns to the mound for the bottom of the third inning, and it's the top of the order for the Newton Rebels that he's going to be facing. Both pitchers for the Larks and the Rebels have done a good job so far in this low-scoring game. Schmother so far has pitched a no-hitter. And for Gary Brock, he has not given up a run, just one hit, and he's gotten 4 strikeouts along with it. Leadoff batter in this inning is number 24, Samuel Benz, who was the first and only strikeout victim against Ty Schmother after the first time through the lineup. Fouls off the first pitch, and it starts off 0-1. He is followed by Caden Ehart and Walker Wakeland. Rebels lead 1-0, trying to get the win and what would be their first win here at Klein Scott Field. Next pitch is fouled off, and now the count is 0-2. And the pitch goes to the plate here for Schmother. This one's going to be drilled into right field, but this one's going to land foul, as Ben stays alive there with 2 strikes in the count. The ball boy for the Rebels will go in there to hand some new ones to the umpire. And Schmother is set to deliver the pitch. He kicks and deals, and Ben's thought about going around. Count is 2-2. Hazelhorse will put his glove low and centered, and this one will bounce away. And now it's 3-2. Ben's trying to rebound from the strikeout in the first inning. He is one of 2 Rebels that has appeared in every game so far this season, or one of 2 Rebels that has appeared in 8 games, and this one's going to be drilled into that right center gap. Running after it is Cox, and he makes the catch on the run for the first out of the inning.
Right fielder number 28, Caden Ehart, to bat next for the Rebels.
As Cox makes that catch in right field, that brings up the right fielder, Caden Ehart. He flew out to left field in his first appearance. Ehart is ready, so is Schmother. The pitch on the way is a curveball that's high in the zone for ball number 1. Ehart just finished his freshman year at Northern Oklahoma Enid after redshirting at Tabor College the year before. And he's now ahead 2-0 against Schmother. Third pitch from Schmother is going to be right down Broadway, and it ties the count up with 2 balls and 1 strike. Walker Wakeland is the third batter. He's on deck. Danny Balderas is in the hole. And this next one's put in play deep into right field. Running after it is Cox. And this one's going to bounce off the wall. And he will throw this one back in, and it's a double for Caden Ehart. Just rip that one to the side of the field opposite of his first at bat. And with the runner at second base, that brings up Walker Wakeland. Wearing number 25 tonight, listed on Game Changer for the Rebels is number 10. Another player for the Rebels from Northern Oklahoma Enid. His first pitch, he thought about swinging at it, but either way, it's going to find the zone for strike 1. Wakeland's gotten multiple hits in 3 straight games, and also 4 of the 5 that he's appeared in. Had a very successful freshman year with the Jets, getting a Region 2 Gold Glove Award. He'll chop this one over to the shortstop position. That is Tabor Stokes that's going to field it, throw it down to first. And stretching out to make the catch is Dylan LaRue for the out. LaRue almost had to do the splits to make the catch. The runner at second will stay put. That's Caden Ehart. And that brings up Danny Balderas.
Number 4, Danny Balderas, bats next for your Rebels.
He was the first run of the game. He was walked on a 3-1 count. Trying to keep the inning going. Schmeidler will watch that runner over at second base. And he delivers the pitch. And that one's going to get in there for strike one. This is Schmeidler's second start as a Lark. He pitched 3 innings in the first one. That was back in Boulder, Colorado. Recorded 2 strikeouts and only gave up 1 earned run. Schmeidler's next pitch on the 0-1 count is going to be left upstairs as Hazelhorst will jump up to get it. Count is 1-1 on the second plate appearance of the night to Danny Balderas, who is a Boulder, Colorado native, a sophomore from Indian Hills Community College. And the pitch is on the way, and it's a swing and a miss on the upper part of the zone. He is down 1-2. Schmeidler looking for that second strikeout. He struck out Samuel Benz at the very start of the game, trying to end the inning right here. Schmeidler with a deep exhale as he gets set. The pitch is on the way, and it's a curveball that is going to be fouled behind the plate. And Balderas is able to stay alive. Balderas awaiting the pitch in his 23rd plate appearance of the year. Hazelhorst this time will put his glove on the outside. Here's the pitch. And that one is left outside for ball 2. Big lead over at second base for Caden Ehart. He had the double just a moment ago. Stayed put on a 6-3 play that got the second out. And the next pitch is going to take a bounce, roll in front of Dylan Hazelhorst. And Balderas now faces a full count. This next pitch will be number 7 of the current at bat. Schmeidler getting set for the payoff pitch. And it goes to the plate, and it's a swing and a miss. There's strikeout number 2 for the TMP Marion Jr. 4 batters go up to the plate for the Rebels that inning. A double gets Caden Ehart over to second, and he is left there after 3. It's Rebels 1, Larks 0. We'll be back for the top of the 4th one up next. Rebels 1, Larks nothing after 3 innings. Sean Keenan leads things off in the top of the 4th against the starter Gary Brock, as the Rebels look for their 4th win of the season. They got a pretty good showing here at Klein Scott Field tonight. They are celebrating American Legion Family Night. And there's also some Larks fans here in attendance over here on the first base side. Pretty good number, actually. But as we go back to our action, the count is 1-0 to Sean Keenan. The glove gets centered by the catcher, and this one's going to miss the zone low for ball 2. Keenan was the final out in the first inning. He's the leadoff batter in the 4th. He'll be followed by Dylan LaRue and Tabor Stokes. Next pitch on the way. He's going to take a bounce and almost hit Keenan in the foot. Either way, he's ahead with 3 balls and no strikes. The Rebels scored their 1 run in the 2nd inning. That was off of a walk for Danny Balderas, and then he was brought home on a sacrifice fly from Braden Mead. Brock delivers the pitch, and that one's going to get in the zone. Going to his curveball, he's now going to work back to a 3-1 count. Keenan, the freshman from Murray State Community College, originally from Louisville, Texas, steps back into the left-handed box as the Larks are in search of their first run of the night. Pitch on the way is a line drive that's going to go right to the shortstop. Making a short jump for it is number 4, Balderas, and there's 1 out. That brings up number 26, Dylan LaRue, who walked to start off the 2nd inning. It was a very long appearance. It was a full count with 4 foul balls, and in the end, 10 pitches were thrown from Gary Brock. The first pitch is on the way, and this one's a swing and a miss for strike 1. This is LaRue's 2nd game back with the Larks. This is his 2nd year with the team. And the next pitch goes to the plate. Left down low for ball number 1 for an even count. Tabor Stokes stands in the on-deck circle. Austin Crawford in the hole. As LaRue fights to get on for the 2nd time tonight and 2nd time this season. Brock will go to his changeup that time, and it goes on the outside part of the plate, tying the count up at 2-1. Middle part of the infield for the Rebels will stand in the grass. Third baseman and first baseman play a little bit closer. And the pitch is going to miss the zone slightly, putting LaRue ahead at 3-1. LaRue takes a couple practice swings. And here's the pitch. And he will leave that one on the inside part of the plate for ball number 4, and he has walked for the 2nd time tonight.
Shortstop, number 6, Tabor Stokes. Bats next for the Larks.
Tabor Stokes now up to bat, 1 for 4 in last night's game with a base hit. Another returner from last year's team, where he played at Hutchinson last year and then was committed during the season to Ball State. As we're going to get a mound meeting here for the Rebels. They do have some guys warming up in the bullpen right now. We'll try to get a look at who that is here in a second. They do have looks like a right-handed arm warming up.
As we get a little closer to the middle of this inning, we'll give away that pizza certificate here at Klein Scott Field. And again,
So it looks like Sebastian Palma is warming up with number 15, Colton Robinson. Another player for this Rebels team that just graduated high school. He's from Burlington, Kansas. We will see when they decide to make the change, but for now, Gary Brock stays in the game.
That's going to be fun a little bit later on as we get time. We are so excited.
So now Stokes is ready for the pitch. About to step back into the batter's box. Looking at Brock, he's pitched 4 games coming into tonight's game. totaling 5 1/3 innings, so this is the longest that he's gone. 1 out and a runner over at first base. Brock will kick and deal, going to his changeup again. He leaves that one upstairs. Tabor Stokes will start with a 1-0 count. Now the clouds starting to roll in here to Klein Scott Field. They've been scattered all throughout the sky this game. Brock looks back over at first base. And Dylan LaRue is back in plenty of time. These two teams, like I said earlier, could not ask for a better night of baseball. It was 77 degrees at first pitch. It has only gone down from there. 10-mile-per-hour winds out of the north at first pitch, and you can definitely notice the breeze when you step outside. Count is 1-1 after Tabor Stokes fouls that one out of play.
Hopefully that wasn't my car, by the way.
LaRue taking a lead over at first base. He's already attempted 1 steal tonight. Stokes will watch the next pitch go by, and that one's going to find the zone for strike 2. The next 3 batters for the Larks is the bottom third of their order: Crawford, Cox, and Hazelhorst. Next pitch goes to the plate, and this one's a hard hit ball, and it's going to go past the shortstop and roll into left field and advance both runners. LaRue now stands at second, and Stokes occupies first. A good hit there by Stokes. He's got back-to-back singles, and that brings up Austin Crawford. So Gary Brock will shift his attention now to the next batter. They did have a meeting before Tabor Stokes came up to bat, and I mentioned that they did have somebody warming up. It's number 15, Colton Robinson. So we'll see when they decide to sub him in. The pitch is on the way, and this one's going to go right down the middle for strike 1. Brock's still focusing on the runner over at second. It's Dylan LaRue. He's attempted 1 steal tonight. Stokes is on for the first time tonight over at the first base bag. And now Crawford is going to have to battle back down 0-2. Brock will take off his hat and get set for the next pitch. Short lead for both runners. Brock took a peek back over at the second base bag. And this pitch will be on the outside part of the zone for ball number 1. Crawford looking for an RBI for the second game in a row. This is also his second game in the lineup. That game against the Lumberjacks last night was his first appearance since the Colorado trip, where the Larks started their season there. It was from June 1st to June 4th. And he will hit a high fly ball into center field. But Wyman's going to get under this one and make the catch. And both runners are going to stay put. That one's going to go right to the third baseman, Doyle. And with 2 outs, LaRue's at second, Stokes is at first.
Up next, the lower part of the batting order, right fielder number
That brings up number 9, Braden Cox. He walked on a 9-pitch plate appearance back in the 3rd inning. Now has to work with 2 runners on and 2 outs. Hazelhorst is the final batter in the order in the on-deck circle. The leadoff batter, Trent Baker, is in the hole. The pitch is on the way, and that one's too high, and it's going to start the count off 1-0. Back in the 3rd inning, when Cox walked, he made it all the way to second base. off of a wild pitch. Had that play where he stole third and then would have gotten home on an error, but it looked like time was called before then, so he would remain at second for the rest of that inning. The 1-0 is on the way, and this one's chopped over to the shortstop. It's going to be Baldera that fields it, launches it down to first base, and he is not in time, and the Larks will have the bases loaded with 2 outs on the scoreboard. We saw that a lot last night. It was whenever the ball went to that third base side, they would have to make a very long throw, and they capitalize off of it right there. An infield single for Braden Cox puts runners on all bases, and that brings up number 29, Dylan Hazelhorst. He has an opportunity to add to his RBI totals this season. He's got 4 in 2 games. All 4 of those RBIs came on June 2nd against the Colorado Lumberjacks. And the pitch is on the way, and this one's going to be hit foul and out of play. The count is 0-1 to the Fort Hays State catcher. Larks have gotten 2 base hits in this inning. That's Tabor Stokes at second and Braden Cox at first. The lead runner, Dylan LaRue, was walked on a 3-1 count. The pitch is on the way, and this one's hit high in the air into center field. Wyman's going to run up on this one, and this one's not going to be caught. It's going to be Baldera that called for it from the shortstop position, and the runners will advance and score. 2 runs across the plate for the Larks. It's Dylan LaRue and Tabor Stokes, and they've got their first lead of the evening. Off of the air, Dylan Hazelhorst advances to second, and Braden Cox to third.
Top of the batting order for the Larks, the designated hitter, number 2, Trent Baker.
So now Trent Baker will make his 3rd appearance of the night. He's been walked twice. So he's the only batter that Gary Brock has seen 3 times now. And this one's going to be hit into right field. Ehart will get under this one and take a short jog to make the catch for the 3rd and final out. But the Larks are finally on the board off of the air as Dylan Hazelhorst hit a pop fly. Baldera couldn't get a hold of it. And the Larks have a 2-1 lead going into the bottom of the 4th. The Larks scored 2 runs on 2 hits. One error was committed by the Rebels, and 2 runners are left on base. And the Larks have their first lead of the evening. That brings up number 27 for the Rebels. That is Mark Wyman, who will be followed by Taj Smith and Heath Hokeman. And the first pitch of the inning is popped up into right field. Braden Cox will run after that one, and he gets under it and makes the catch for out number 1.
Mark Wyman led it off for the Rebels. Now batting for Newton is the first baseman.
The third inning in a row, that's a fly out there to Braden Cox in right field. That brings up for the Rebels number 45, Taj Smith. They are still facing Ty Schmeidler on the mound. They'll give him an extra inning after his first start where he only pitched 3. He's done well so far, only giving up 1 hit and 1 run, and adding a pair of strikeouts along with it. He delivers, and this one's chopped over to Rainer Bean. He'll field it and toss it over to Dylan LaRue for the second out. 2 pitches and 2 outs will bring up Heath Hokeman.
The designated hitter, number 13.
Heath Hokeman is in the DH spot tonight. This is his second game since joining the Rebels. He's a recent graduate of Abilene High School here in Kansas. Played his first game with the team 3 nights ago against Derby. And the count will start off 0-1. The Larks do have 1 pitcher warming up right now, but so far Schmeidler is going to be in control of this inning. Now the count is 1-1. It's hard to get a good look of who it is in the bullpen because there's some trees in the way, but it does look like the Larks are warming up number 24, Justin Piñardo. That one will be left in the dirt. And it ties the count up 2-1 to Hokeman. He was walked on 4 straight balls back in the second inning, but was left stranded at first in the inning where the Rebels scored their lone run. And he will pop this one up into foul territory. And Dylan LaRue has got the catch for out number 3. The second 3-up, 3-down inning of the night for the Larks against the Rebels. We go now to the top of the 5th where Cooper Holtorf will lead things off when we come back.
It's now time for our mobile Moxie.
As we start the top of the 5th inning, the Rebels will make a change on the mound. After 4 innings of work from Gary Brock, they will hand the ball over to number 15, Colton Robinson, who will face 2-3-4 for the Larks in the top of the 5th. And the first pitch rolls away from the catcher, and the count is 1-0. This is Colton Robinson's 3rd relief appearance for the Rebels. He's pitched 4 innings and recorded 8 strikeouts on the year, a recent graduate of Burlington High School here in Burlington, Kansas. As this one's a line drive into left field, it's going to drop down right in front of Benz, and it's a leadoff single for Cooper Holtorf. He is now 2 for 3 on the night, and that brings up Rainer Bean. The Larks took the lead in the prior inning off of a 2 RBI hit from Dylan Hazelhorst that brought home Dylan LaRue and Tabor Stokes.
Next up, the second baseman, number 3, Rainer Bean.
Bean will be followed by Sean Keenan and Dylan LaRue. And the pitch is on the way, and that one's left outside for a ball. Holtorf had a fairly large lead over there at first base, as the Larks have gotten a steal from him tonight. I've mentioned already, this is a Rebels team that you have to be very careful against if you try to take off for second or third. They entered tonight's game with their opponents having 44 stolen base attempts. They have caught them 11 times. Next pitch goes to the plate on the low outside corner. It's going to move the count to 2-0. The first baseman will cover the bag. That is Taj Smith, as Holtorf continues to inch off. And that one's left outside for ball 3. The Larks have had 6 of their batters get on base at least once tonight. Rainer Bean trying to join that group as he's ahead 3-0. The pitch is on the way. It's going to find the strike zone, and throw down to second base is not in time, and Holtorf slides in successfully for his second steal of the game. So now the attention shifts back over to Rainer Bean as the count is 3-1 with a runner in scoring position. Pitch is on the way, and this one's a line drive that's going to go out into foul territory.
Kids, if you grab that
And the
foul
count moves to
ball,
3-2.
take it to Mobile Mopsies, our concession partner, for some free candy.
Bean was ahead in the count 3-0, and then when Holtorf stole second, it was a called strike, and that foul ball makes it a full count. Robinson, the relief pitcher, looks back at second. The pitch is on the way, and it's left outside, and the Larks have 2 runners on to start the 5th inning.
The center fielder, number 7, Sean Keenan.
So Sean Keenan makes his 3rd appearance at the plate tonight. He's put 2 balls in play. And he's already worked with Cooper Holtorf on base tonight back in the 1st inning when Holtorf made it all the way to 3rd. This time he's at 2nd. Robinson gets set to deliver the pitch. It's on the way. This one's going to be chopped foul past the Larks' first base coach, who I believe tonight is Brady Kreitzer, a former player for the Larks last season. Joined the team late as kind of a fill-in player, as the Larks had a lot of late arrivals. But as the season went on, they decided to keep him, and he played with them in the NBC World Series. So he did not play here in Newton last season with the Larks, but he does have experience playing here with the Great Bend Batcats, as the throw is down to third base on the stolen base attempt, and Holtorf is out. This one's a line drive over to the second baseman. He makes the catch as that one was just about to hit the dirt, and there is out number 2. For that single where Benz couldn't make the catch, he'll be followed by Dylan LaRue and Tabor Stokes. Riker Ratcliffe did not pitch at Trinidad State this season, but he did have 18 appearances in 2025, totaling 33 strikeouts, and also had an 0-1 record. First pitch is a ball that Sean Keenan thought about swinging but pulled back in time. Keenan looking for a hit in a second straight game. He had an RBI single last night. Also accounted for 2 of the Larks' runs. And the next pitch misses the zone for ball 2. Keenan steps back into the box on the left-hand side. Short lead over at first for Rainer Bean. He's already attempted 1 steal tonight. Ray tried getting over to second base. He slides back now as the throw goes to first, and he is back in time. 2-1 is the count to Sean Keenan. Larks are ahead 4-1. The Rebels jumped out to a 1-0 lead after the second inning, but the Larks have scored all the runs since then, with 2 apiece in the 4th and 6th. Ball goes inside, and now it's 3-1 to the center fielder out of Murray State Community College. So Sean Keenan trying to be the second Lark to get on this inning. Dylan LaRue is on deck, fresh off of a solo home run in the prior inning, and this one's going to roll over to the second baseman, and he fields it on the run, fading away from first, and this one's not in time. This one's going to roll away from the first baseman and also get Rainer Bean over to third. I believe they'll list that one as a single with how hard of a hit it was from Sean Keenan. The second baseman, Meade, had to go all the way out to the grass to field it. Now the Larks have runners at the corners for Dylan LaRue to work with. Looking for another big hit off of that solo home run on the full count back in the 6th inning. It was 1 of 2 runs scored that inning for the Larks. The other one was Austin Crawford, who got on through a double and then was eventually brought home. First pitch is going to be called ball 1 to Dylan LaRue. So now Tabor Stokes will work with 2 runners in scoring position off of the RBI double for Dylan LaRue. Stokes has gotten on base twice tonight, just like Dylan LaRue was a moment ago. This could potentially be his third. He's had a single and a walk and a run scored. First pitch is right down the middle for strike 1. The infielders are going to play a little bit closer for the Rebels, specifically the guys at the corners. This one's going to go outside for Tabor Stokes, and that's the first ball for him, moving the count to 1-1. The catcher puts his glove on the outside part of the plate, and this one's going to find the low part of the zone for Tabor Stokes. He's down 1-2. Riker Ratcliffe looking for his first strikeout since coming in relief for Colton Robinson. As Stokes will pop this one up. This one's going to go out of play right over the Larks dugout.